Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session, um, and welcome one and all. Before we start, let's just give it a couple more seconds for people joining in the last minute. Perfect. Let me just introduce myself. I'm Suraj. Yeah, as you can see on the screen, I'll be going through today's session, and I've been working with the APAC team for the last more than close to 2 years now. And if you do desire to take, one of the free trials, we would have the privilege of meeting again. And apart from that, there's another member, Peter, who would be taking along the sessions with you. So hopefully we meet again after today's session. And thank you for joining once again. And we really do appreciate your valuable time. And the whole idea of today's session is why is Prospect CRM so perfect for Unleashed customers? That's exactly what we're going to be seeing today. And our product has been built specifically for Unleashed customer, and it should be, pretty much seamless, the integration right from day one. And today's session, we're going to be seeing, what are the various attributes that we have with both these systems going forward. And we're also going to give you some real, we're going to do some tasks in real time, and we're also going to give you a lot of examples of customers giving us feedback on how well the product has worked for them. And the whole idea is to give you that profitable growth. That's going to be the whole idea of today's session. And there's nothing better than some of our customer testimonials on our website. We've been integrated with Unleashed for close to 5 years now. And as you know, today's session, we've also been recently part of the same group, which is the Access Group, about since 2022. And ever since that's happened, which is a great kind of initiative where our developers have been working more closely than ever, which means the integration is a bit more tight and seamless. And there are various testimonials about us as a product and a company on our website. Please do feel free to go have a look at that. And as you can see on the screen, we are going to be um, we are giving you a live example of Helen, who's been, as you can see, uh, we're not going to promise and guarantee that it's going to be working the same for everyone, but as she's stated in information right here, she could see all the data there immediately and the thought that it was life changing. Again, this is something where it's her kind of opinion and feedback, but we can certainly guarantee that there will be a change for you when you start using Prospect CRM. And how do we compare in the market? As there are literally hundreds of CRM solutions out there. We're just drawing a quick example on giving you a kind of comparison. You can pretty much use any CRM that you're currently using into this channel as well. But just to give you a bit of an heads up, at this day and age, everyone's got similar star rating, and that's one of the most basic, uh, you know, uh, stepping stone on how well they treat their customers and how efficiently have they gotten those feedbacks. And that's, as you can see, everyone's got similar star rating. And the other key differentiating factor is the pricing. We are priced in a competitive way. So if you're looking at for AUD, it's $603 per month, and it does include up to 4 users. And today we're going to be seeing the professional version, which does have all the key features and functionality of Prospect CRM. And if it's for New Zealand customers, it's $636 per month, and it does include up to 4 users. And any kind of onboarding and training is also part of that subscription, which is the great news. So until you're fully onboarded with the product, our onboarding consultants will assist you throughout the process. And the other key differentiating factor, as you can see, is the reviewers by industry, um, which is pretty much, as you can see, all the top reviewers industry is more catered towards a non-product kind of business, or more for a service-led industry, like say computer software, information technology, real estate, or management consulting. These were the early adopters of the CRM, I should say, where there is an elongated sales process with each of their projects that they deal with, and each of the divisions, or uh, members who deal with that project try to engage or mention all their activities, set their follow-up tasks, and eventually, try to capture all the emails and information that goes backwards and forwards throughout the whole project or opportunity. And finally, sell that as a service. And it does take maybe 1, 2, or even 5 years to implement that solutions. So these were the early adopters of CRM. And straight away, if you look at a comparison between these top three players and us, you can see the critical factor which differentiates us is none of these top players really focus on what it takes for a wholesale and distribution industry, which is really understanding the buying pattern of the customer and also ensuring that you get them onto that repeat order cycle, and in turn which will provide you with that profitable growth. That's where we focus only on that niche segment, and all our customers are one way or the other related to being an wholesaler, distributor, or manufacturer. And also, the good news is we do constant releases for any product. The lifeline is to do that constant releases and updates to keep, in check with the current trends of the market. So we do that, and all that is based on the feedback that we get from our existing customers, and we do those updates accordingly. There is a question mark symbol which I'll show you through the live system, where you can always go in and log your ideas, and based on the votes that we get, and it's reviewed in the stakeholders meeting, and it will be implemented in all the recent releases coming up. Just quickly moving on to the next slide. As you can see, this is a very unusual kind of award to get for a CRM, which is number one stock aware CRM. You don't see too many CRMs get this award. And apart from that, you also see uh, awards like, high performer, highest user adoption, most implementable, and which is more really focusing on, we're going to be showing you why we've got these awards and how different we are from the other CRMs, and what's the kind of niche market that we focus on. As I did mention earlier, uh, our product was specifically built for Unleashed customers, so it's going to be really tightly integrated and seamless right from the day one, as you're going to see in the demo. And the other thing I did, wanted to mention at the start of the session is this session is recorded. So please feel free to, send this recording to your colleagues if they have missed out on joining today. And yeah, that's something I thought I should mention as well. And the growth formula. So this formula is one of the key areas that the CRM is really built on. It does look fairly straightforward, but just to give you a bit of an understanding, like more customers. With any CRM, any top three CRMs that I showed you, the whole idea is to bring in more customers through their opportunity management or marketing campaigns that they do. And you want as many as customers buying your product and using your products as long as possible. So we do have that functionality. And on top of that, we also push them through this mechanism, which really promotes that higher CLTV, which is customer lifetime value. So together, we will ensure you get that sales growth. So if I quickly break that formula for you, as you can see, I'm pretty sure you've seen this heaps of times, the funnel of doing business. Um, as you can see, the CRM collects the leads that marketing generates, and your marketing efforts could be right from any inquiry forms that's hosted on your website through the integration. We pull through that data, any cold calling that you're doing, and all that efforts from your end, any other marketing campaigns that you're doing through MailChimp, Klaviyo, Spotler. Through that, when you do get a pool of inquiries and customers or prospects coming through, and then you push them through a sales process and qualify them, and then push them through a sales process, which could be that initial level face-to-face meeting, or sending a quote, or even sending samples if that's part of your business process. And finally, you close the deal and you get the first order in. And as you know, most of the top CRMs kind of stop right here. The functionality, I mean, where they try to bring in more customers, they qualify them, get the first order, boom, they're done. That's pretty much what's the functionality they really focus on. And to be honest with you, if this first order is a bit tentative, this whole process can be a loss-making effort. And because of course you're paying your salespeople, and then you're also investing in your marketing campaigns, which does come with a cost. And if this first order is really tentative, that's not going to make too much of a sense, where this whole process could be a loss-making effort. And that's where we come into the picture and we go a step further. Not only do we onboard your customers, but we also push them through this mechanism, which I did mention to you earlier, uh, which really does focus on those three components that I mentioned, which is increasing your order value, increasing your order frequency, most importantly, customer retention, where you're trying to retain your customers as long as possible. And also, you don't have that leaky bucket effect where you're bringing in more customers and they're going through the other side of the funnel. In Prospect, by onboarding and really focusing on your existing customer base, we can ensure you that profitable growth. So that's the kind of dynamics and the areas that we focus on. Just a couple more slides before we jump onto the live action. The growth playbook, this is quite important. This is like one of our, I would say, the onboarding consultants really do, get back to this if you wish to go on board and then come in as a subscribed customers. We're not going to be going through each of these components, but just to give you a bit of a taste on what to expect from the onboarding. As you can see, it is broken down into the growth formula, which is more customers and higher customer lifetime value. And we also have a growth playbook quiz, which are based on these 7 components that are reflecting on the screen. And you can benchmark yourself and see where exactly you stand. Like we would recommend you to take that quiz as truthfully as possible. So you'll know exactly, if you have to focus on the areas like attract or increasing that order frequency or retention. I think there's the next slide where we will be sharing you that link as well. But the whole idea of today's session is we're going to give you all these components which are mentioning here. Um, they are deployed in the free trial, so which means that we can get that low investment and early return on investment. But the whole idea is once when you come on board and start using the CRM, we would ideally want you to use things that require a bit more planning and configuration, which could be, like automating your quote to order workflow. Or we also have the ability, as I mentioned, if you use any third-party email marketing tools like MailChimp, Klaviyo, or Spotler, we have the ability to integrate to them and capture all those live responses back into the CRM, and you can qualify them and then work on it accordingly. So that's the kind of the features and functionality we actually have, where you do get those early wins, and with a bit of an effort, planning and configuration, you will be getting a bit more higher return on investment as well. And I'm going to quickly touch upon this acronym RFM, what that stands for, before quickly jumping on to the next slide. And we will also be sending you through this infographic as a part of, thanking you for joining today's session. So this is exactly what I mentioned. We will send you through this link when we send you through the recording. Please feel free to take a quiz. And as I did mention, try to be as truthful as possible so you'll know exactly which are the areas that you have to focus straight away and get that return on investment. And RFM, this is not like some acronym that we have come up with. It is an industry standard reporting, widely used in wholesale and distribution. It stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. So what we do is through the integration, we basically pull through your sales history from Unleashed and push through this mechanism, which really kind of segments your customers into champion, loyal, at risk, can't lose them, and so on. Champion, obviously being the customers, they're your top priority, yeah. So they usually buy recently, buy often, and spend the most. So there's not much activity that you need to do with them because you've established that relationship, and they usually support you every month or every fortnight or on a weekly basis. But similarly, if you look at risk customers, who did spend big money at one point in time, but they've dropped in revenue due to various reasons. Again, this could be seasonality or change in buyer or change in pricing, whatever may be the reason. We do indicate that to you. And all similarly, customers like can't lose them, hibernating, and lost. And we also give you some actionable insights, what you can do to ensure that you get them onto that repeat order cycle. So that's the kind of focus areas that we provide through our reporting tools. And this is one of the key reporting tools, logics that we've got built into the CRM. And there's one more segment that we added. As I did mention, for any thriving business, as much as you're focusing on your existing customer, the more new customers you bring in, it's really going to help you increase your profitable growth as well. Similarly, when you do bring in a new customer to your business through the marketing or opportunity management, research has proven that until they've placed the fourth order, that's like the ticking point where they really start considering you as a potential supplier. So until they've placed that fourth order, they will remain in this segment. So which means that, it gives an opportunity for your sales team to work with them a bit more closely, build that relationship organically, and eventually push them up through the segment and make them your champion or loyal customer. So that's the kind of areas that we're going to be focusing on today's session. I know you're waiting for the actual demo, but that's the last slide just to give you the million dollar question. What exactly is integrated? What's the kind of information that you're pulling through from Unleashed? So we've got a bit of a graphic for you. And it is a deep two-way integration, as I did mention to you. It's pretty seamless and tightly integrated. Of course, we pull through all the currencies that you're dealing with, your home currency, AUD, or any supplier's information, USD, all that currency details we pull through. We pull through if you've got multiple warehouse location, your tax, the GST's VAT that you deal with. If you've got more than one warehouse, we pull through all the data for you. And customers and suppliers, any sales orders that have come through, all the customers that you deal with and suppliers information gets pulled through as well. We will be showing you all the live example on a demo account, how that looks like, and all the products that you've set up in Unleashed gets pulled through as well, and also the stock levels as well. Um, and finally, your invoices, sales orders, and any credit notes, those informations gets pulled through the integration as well. So what do we actually do with that information? Like, so we push through them to Prospect, and as I did show you, we do heaps of sales analysis. We've got heaps of reporting tools that you can use at the go, like RFM analysis, Magic Matrix, and Missing Order Alert. They're pretty cool reporting tools, which will show you the repeat order pattern, and you know where exactly your customers stand and if they're falling off that repeat order cycle. And the good news is you can actually process a sales order right from the CRM. So which will, save a lot of double handling where you don't have to, always have to process an order in Unleashed and then it gets pushed through into the CRM. If you do process an order in the CRM through the two-way integration, it does get pushed back into Unleashed. And this is ideally for customers who deal with a wide range of products. If you've got like a huge range of catalog of products and you don't want to say create all of them in Unleashed, you can pretty much create products on the go in your quoting. So we do have and enable the product description lines. And this could be if you're doing a customized product or customers who deal with like projects and stuff, you can use that. And once the quote is confirmed, you can then create that product in Unleashed. So that's again a catch-22 situation, but it's quite useful for customers dealing with wide range of products. And finally, if you don't want to keep all your prospects and customers who have not ordered with you on Unleashed, you can pretty much save that in the CRM for your marketing efforts. You can, run specific targeted marketing campaigns for your prospect. And once, if they are interested, you can send quotes, you can create an opportunity, track that sales pipeline, and then turn them into a regular ordering customer. So that's what you're going to be getting through the integration. And quickly jumping on now to the live action. So before I go, there is a Q&A tab on your screen. So we will have a Q&A session towards the end of the demo. So please feel free to log in any questions that you have from your end. I'll certainly try to answer them in my best capability. Cheers. Let me quickly jump on to the other screen. Hopefully you can see my screen all right. Yes, perfect. So this is pretty much the demo account that we're going to be showing you today. As I did mention, it is a bit of a fictitious account, so please do bear with us if there's any, data you know, uh, data missing or any information that's not appropriate. But yeah, apart from that, I think it's pretty much up to date. So we're going to be dealing with this company called Coffee and Beans. So they are a coffee roasting company, coffee and beans company, which means that they do everything, regarding coffees, right, from beans, equipments, so on. And this is what we call the account manager's dashboard. This is pretty much a reflection of all the sales history that have come through from Unleashed and customers who have placed an order with you at least once. This is a reflection of that. And we do have other, dashboards that we will be touching upon as we go through today's session. But the main area of focus is going to be the account manager's dashboard. And this can be locked to certain account managers. Yeah, as a management team, if you don't want your account managers to be seeing the entire operations of the business, you can certainly lock their screen. So when they log in, they will only be able to see the kind of orders that they're bringing in, and the customers that they're dealing with, and all the other various sales reports, etc. And front and center, we've got the RFM analysis, just picking up from where we left from the presentation. So based on the sales history from Unleashed, as you can see on the screen, we have categorized them into champion, loyal, at risk, and so on. So if I quickly jump onto one of your customers right here, let's go to the loyal customer segment, and you can see here right from the beginning what's the kind of customer type or prospect and who's the account manager. If you have set that up in Unleashed, we pull through that information, some basic information like the first order date, the last order date, and the total order count since the time they've come on board as a customer. With any of our reports, we just don't project that data for you, but we actually give you some actionable insights. So with this three dot menu, you quickly click that, you can save any of our reports to Excel. So which means not only can you, make this into a contact list, or if you do want to be on top of all your loyal customers, you can do that. And you can add them to a campaign and push this seven out customers into a convert them into a campaign list, push them onto those email providers that I mentioned, and formulate your email, add your flyers. Once when you send that campaign through, any live responses does flow back into the CRM and get saved under marketing, under campaigns. And if anyone's interested, you can pretty much qualify it and then work on it accordingly. And finally, we do have integration to Google Maps, which will provide you the show on map section, which gives you the geographical presentation of all the customers on where exactly they're located. And this could be very useful for most of the sales rep who do plan their road trips. It's a nice little tool that they can use. And quickly, before I move on to the next screen, I just want to show you, this is another question that gets asked a lot on what exactly is part of the subscription. So through the professional version, we do give you the ability to connect to your inventory system, which is Unleashed. And then we also give you the ability to connect to your secondary accounting software, which could be Xero or QuickBooks, to track in all your aged receivables. And we've also got that integration to marketing tools that I've mentioned to you earlier. If you do use any of these partners, you can pretty much integrate to them and go about with them as soon as possible. And finally, we also got integration to Stripe, which is an online payment gateway. If you do want to treat any of your customers as a performer invoice, you can get those payments upfront. And with productivity and emails, we have integration to both Microsoft Office and Gmail, where you can pretty much integrate to them, track all your emails, and you can be up to date as well. So that's the kind of information that that's the kind of features and functionality that's on offer through the subscription. Now, if I'm quickly going to show you what's the details, like, a graphic on what are the kind of information that we pull through from the integration. I'm going to jump on to Byron Bay Coffee. As you can see right here, it's pretty much in sync with Unleashed. The name, phone number, website, all this is pulled through from Unleashed. And we've also got here, an activity feed, which gives you the top level view of all the sales orders that have come through 2 hours ago. And you can also see, pretty much gives you a top level view of all the orders that have come through ever since the time they've come on board as a customer. And the categorization section here, um, you can see who's the account manager. With all these fields here, they are totally configurable, like territory, industry, or priority. If you do feel this is not part of your business requirement, and if you do want to amend that, you can pretty much change that. Similar to that, the CRM is extremely customizable. So we give you utmost flexibility on the kind of fields that you want to keep on that page, and you want to keep it as crisp as possible. You can preview it and then save it accordingly. And on the right, we've got the at a glance section, which shows you the segment they belong to. And this is the spend in the last 365 days. As you can see, it's not a great sign where there is a bit of a dip compared to the previous 365 days. And this is a rolling period. So tomorrow, it will be tomorrow from the last 365 days. So that's it's a rolling period which does get calculated automatically. And if you have set up your financial year to date, we also do a bit of a comparison, give you a top level view as well. And that's the integration to Google Maps, which show you the geographical presentation of the customer. And if I quickly move on to the left here, we've got the address section. Any shipping details you have pulled up in Unleashed, we get that information as well. And if you do, we do have postcode lookup where you can enter any of the postcode number, and this will get pre-populated as well. That's another little UI feature we've got. And with the contacts here, right now we've got Toby Sanderson, the general manager, which has been pulled through from Unleashed. So he's the main decision maker, and we have the ability to add multiple contacts in the CRM. So as long as you know the role, the email address, and all the basic information, If you want to deal with the junior buyer, the marketing contact, or even the aged receivables, you can add them as at the go, and there is no limitations on saving your contacts as well. And if you do enable the two-way sync, this information will flow back into Unleashed, and you do save up from all the double handling where you have to create a contact again in Unleashed. So it does save you a lot of time. Opportunities, problems, quotes and orders, all the CRM things I'm going to quickly come back to. This documents is a key area where I just wanted to show you any emails you send, any project proposal, quotes, all that gets saved here under the documents section. So this is quite crucial. So please do keep an eye out when you're using your free trial. So if you want to, date back to any quotes that you have sent, this would be the best area to go back to. And that's the link to Unleashed. So you can directly open the Unleashed account for this customer right from the CRM. And you can see this is directly in sync with Unleashed. What is this type? They're a wholesale customer, address, age receivables, and what are their payment term like? All that information gets captured right here. And with the age receivables, as I did point to you earlier, we do have the ability to connect to Xero or QuickBooks or even Access Financials, where if you want to track all your age receivables and any outstanding invoices, rather than doing it, jumping out from the software, the CRM can be a central point of access for your sales team. And the sales transaction, this gives you the line-by-line view of all the orders that have come through from Unleashed, right? From the SKU code, the description. We also give you, recently 2 hours ago, we got an order. So it's not yet been delivered or invoiced, as you can see right here. And you can also see the kind of the currency that you're dealing with, the price, and also the margin that you're making with each of these orders, the sales order number, transaction date, and so on. And you've got close to 844 transactions. So if you do feel like you want to go in and then just see the ones, if you want to pick up one particular SKU, you can pretty much search that through that search engine over here. And you can see what are the kind of beans that they've got from you previously, like coffee beans, Australian coffee beans are the ones that they've got from you, and other hampers and so on. Okay, you might have a question. So that's the sales transaction. How do I know what are the other categories that they've got from me? I want to know a bit more of a reporting logic. The sales analysis is a perfect spot for that. So we give you a bit more of a deep dive in where we show you the kind of segment they belong to, the spend, order frequency, and the last order date. And this interactive graph here, it's the invoice value by month, and that's the order value by month. At any given stage, if you do only want to focus on, 2024, the last year, you can quickly zoom in and you can see how well they've been tracking. There was a big order in July, and you can quickly come back and you can see by order date, they've been fairly consistent, with all the orders that have come through. And if I click on the see more section over here, this gives you the breakdown of all the products that have come through. For instance, December and November has been fairly good month. No wonder they're a loyal customer. They've been fairly consistent with few big orders, and July being last year one of the biggest months, as we saw on the graph. And if you're on the phone and if you're happy with what you've seen, but you want to know what are the products that they've got from you, and where would you go to see that? Pretty simple. You just quickly scroll down, and then we show you the top products that Byron Bay Coffee has got from you so far. We give you two interactive pie diagrams, as you can see, by value and by order frequency. By far, the Breville coffee machine is the highest revenue generator with 32.8% and 314K, followed by another SKU, 24.5%. You get the idea of the breakdown on how well they've been performing. If I quickly open this report for you, if we give you the descending order of all the top products, and by far the Breville coffee machine, followed by the other SKUs, they've totally got 16 SKUs from you so far, and that's by value and by the number of units they've ordered. If I quickly hit on this particular tab, so this is exactly where we get the tagline, as I did show you, as the number one stock OS CRM. So through the integration from Unleashed, we just don't pull your customer data, but we also pull all your product files as well. Right from the SKU code, the name, the list price, cost price, the total stock available, which category does this product belong to, if it's stockable, and any images you've set up. With all due respect, Unleashed will still remain your master data. So any changes that you want to make to this queue, you still have to do it in Unleashed, and through the overnight sync, it will flow back into the CRM. So mainly because we don't want any of your other team members to be making any changes to a product, so that'll still be left to the operational manager or the main decision maker. And on the left here, we've got the stock levels, as I did mention through the integration, what we pull through. Various stock, warehouses. If you've got like multiple warehouse locations, one in New Zealand, Sydney, and the headquarters, we give you that breakdown as well. And also we give you a bit of if you've given access to the supplier's information, we provide you the data as well. What's the cost of this particular product? And you can see here there was a due date 3 days ago, and when was the delivery date? And if they've all been up to date, you get all that key information as well. So that's the kind of information that we pull through of your suppliers. And sales transactions, similar to what we saw with Byron Bay Coffee, we give you the total revenue that this product has generated and the most recent orders. And there's no surprise there. Byron Bay Coffee has been the top, customer supporting this product. And the sales analysis is a bit more of a deep dive. We give you the top buyers. You can see again who are the top buyers who have supported this product. But one of the most crucial reporting logics we've got is this buying pattern over here. This does assess if there's any seasonality associated with the product, and you can also use this report as a forecasting report for your next financial year, and you can hold stock accordingly. For instance, you can see July they've been fairly consistent, with May 2023 being one of the biggest months. Again, you can certainly save this to Excel. Pretty much use this as a forecasting report for stock for the next financial year and hold stock accordingly. So at any given stage, you're not overstocked or you're not out of stock. So that's the key reporting logic we've got. And as I did mention previously, the CRM can be a central point of access. Right now, we're not sure. You might be saving or holding documents associated to a product in, say, Google Drive or like any other Dropbox. But once, if you do wish to proceed with us, the CRM can do that job for you, where you can hold all the information associated to the product, not only customers. You can add additional images to that, and you can also link files. If there's any spec documents or any other ingredients documents that you think is associated with the product, you can certainly link that through as well. And we also capture the various price tiers and price lists you have set up with this product in Unleashed. All that information gets flowed through as well. Before I quickly move on to some live actions, I want to show you another key, tool here, which is upsell. So with the CRM, you can link products to this Breville coffee machine. So we have linked two products which are recommended, which is the coffee grinder and the knockbox. And once when you can also check with the customer how many coffees they make an hour. It could be probably like 50 coffees an hour. And if they do say we would like to purchase a product which could make 100 coffees an hour, you could probably make this into an upgrade. Must sell or recommended. So you can upgrade them to a bigger product. You can link that as well, or you can have these two products as recommended. So the moment you quote this particular coffee machine in your quote or your sales order, these two products will come up as a window, prompting your sales team to increase their average order value, which is one of the other components that we discussed through the growth formula. So this is a nice little UI feature to increase that average order value. We will show you this in live example as well. Before I go on more on to that, under Byron Bay Coffee, I wanted to show you one other key reporting tool, which is the Magic Matrix analysis. So what this basically does is, it's again a Harvard Business School idea. I'm just giving you a top level view. We'll give you a global view towards the end of the session as well. The whole idea is to see what are the categories Byron Bay Coffee has got from you, and what are they unaware of, and how do we make them buy any cross-selling opportunities. Like, you can build awareness campaign through the marketing campaign tools that we have. And if they do come back and say they're interested, you can create an opportunity, track that sales pipeline, and then eventually make them buy the product. So that's the kind of exercise that we have, and we help you to increase that average order value. Again, I'll show you the simplified way in the global view on how that looks like. I just wanted to mention that to you. And so we're pretty much on back to the main account manager's dashboard. And I'm going to quickly touch upon these other reports here. So we do have a bit of AI integrated in the CRM. As you know, that's like the bus acronym in the current market. So what this does is it calculates the average order days between each of your customers. What's the longest time they've taken to place an order? What's the shortest time? And if they've fallen off that average order value. Your salespeople will love this. Because if I open that report, it shows you, Coffee Club, they place an order every 4 days. They've missed out right now. What's the kind of revenue that's sitting in, and what can be collected even during the free trial? So that's another little key reporting logic we've got. And the other report is we also provide you a bit of a customer trends report, which shows you the difference between the growing, static, and declining. So which are the customers you should be targeting, maybe declining, We also give you a bit of a comparison on the spend in the last 365 days to the previous 365 days and show you which customers are doing well and who's dropping off that revenue. And you can run targeted marketing campaigns to the ones who are dropping in revenue. And the whole idea is we give you the data so you can pretty much get them back to that repeat order cycle. Needs engagement again, based on the last time you've logged an activity against the customer. This will get relearned and reflect upon accordingly. This is ideally for your account managers if they have missed out in reaching out to a customer. This is a quite useful report. And problems is an after sales ticketing solution. As you can see, some of the problems logged: damaged goods on delivery, manufacturing, or even for warranty and claims. You can use this. We'll provide you a quick glimpse into the workflow, how that looks like. And close rates is, and again, with any time when you create a sales opportunity, we do give you sales pipeline reporting, and based on if you're won or lost, will reflect in this report. But we will give you a quick glimpse on how you can actually use the filters to see where exactly you're at with all the opportunities that you're dealing with. 12 months order is pretty self-explanatory. It's based on all the orders that have come through in the current calendar year with a monthly breakdown. And orders, we give you a quick glimpse on a comparison between this month versus last month, and see how well you're tracking. And that's the kind of information that you get from the account manager's dashboard. Now I'm quickly jumping onto the global search, and we're going to be doing some live actions as promised. Let's quickly go to Michelle. So Michelle Dury works for Browns of Ipswich, yeah? So even if you're going to type in this global search, any key characters, it's going to pull through that information. So right now, we're going to be dealing with Michelle Dury, who is the key decision maker. So she's the point of contact that we've been dealing with. And this is what we call the breadcrumb menu. So at any given stage, you know where exactly you're situated. So Browns of Ipswich, similar to Byron Bay Coffee, there is a bit of a bad news because they're at risk, and you can see they should have ordered by now. And if I quickly go back, if I go to the contact section, so you've got two here, who's the manager and the director, but we're dealing with Michelle. So under Michelle, what we're going to do, all that Michelle wants to do is to get a quote sent out so she can get approval from a manager and then get back to you and process a sales order. So before we do that, by all means, if I quickly go to the question mark symbol, the plus symbol, you can process a sales order in the CRM, no issues whatsoever. And then it will be pushed into Unleashed as a draft sales order, and then your operations team can pick, ship, and invoice it, and the rest is history. But just for the demo purpose, I'm sure a couple of our customers would like to see the quoting flexibility, because there's no limitations like Unleashed. You can do a lot of things in the quoting section. So once when you go to a quote, you can say top up order, and then you can, all this gets pre-populated, but you can also set certain based on characters. So if you're selling packs like say gold pack, silver, bronze, you can, if it's a repeat order, you don't want to be keying in all the time, you can actually set those templates right here, which saves a lot of time. And if you quickly come down, once when you hit create, it's going to take us to the landing page of the quote, and you can see right here, if Michelle does give you a PO number, you can pretty much enter that right here. And once when you do come down, if you hit this plus symbol, you can see the CRM only recommends the most frequently ordered items by Michelle. So that's how smart, that's how pretty much up to date our CRM is. And if we just do type Breville, and let's just quickly take that product. And this is exactly what I wanted to show you with that linking feature. So right now, we've linked two products, and if you're on the phone and if you'd want to get Michelle's consent, would you like to add these two SKUs? They do go well. If she says yes, you hit confirm, and nice little way of pretty much, getting that average order value straight away. So that's as simple as ordering the product. And if right now, if she's asking you, can you please show me some beans? And you can pretty much go and choose the Colombian beans, and you can choose some Ethiopian, and you can also choose some Australian locally gathered beans. Fantastic. And there are a few other things that you can do. If this could be a small search for you, and if you're keen to see a bigger search engine, once when you hit that, this is what we call the multi-line quoting system. So where you can pretty much see the cost price, the stock available, and all the categories that you've got. And if you're on the store and if you're on rep mode, you can be able to see, okay, what are the home coffee equipments that you have? Or if you want to see others or machines, you can pretty much go there. And certainly, say if you're selling to a retailer, and if they're keen to know what other products would you recommend, if they quickly ask you a question, what other products are doing well, you can certainly go to the popular section, and this is by far it lists only the top products that have been doing really well with other customers, and you can certainly enter them as you go, and then you can certainly hit add and close. And there are a few other things that we do give with our products quoting system over here, which is with the pencil icon. We give you a bit of a profitability report and showing you the markup and the margin that you're dealing with, the breakdown, any attributes you've set up, so on. There's few more things that you can do with our quote, which is we can do a bit of a grouping with the products. You can certainly go in and type machine, and you can choose the other group as beans. It gives you a bit more of a nice little way of presenting your quote. And if Michelle is your regular customer, and as long as she sends you a quote or a PO, and if it's got, if it's a CSV file, if it's got the right SKU code name and the right quantity and pricing, you can drag and drop that in this dotted box menu, and then it gets pre-populated. That's another little way of, sending that through. And right now, there are a few ways of sending this quote template. We can replicate the quote templates you've set up with Unleashed. And similarly, you can, that's all done in the onboarding stage. Or we highly recommend you to send emails from the CRM. One of the main reasons being we do have set templates where you can create you can configure any other templates based on your business requirements. So we do have a basic email quote, which will give you the table form of, the pricing and the stock as well. And before I do that, I quickly wanted to show you one little thing on this quote over here, where we give with the setting symbols over here, you can edit the description, pricing, discount, and cost. So which means if Michelle is a regular customer and if she does get an additional rebate of 10%, you can pretty much enter that right here and it will reflect in the CRM. Rather than having to go back to Unleashed and change the pricing, you can do that right here in the CRM. And then we're going to show you the simple cover PDF and how that looks like. So this is one of the exercises that I mentioned at the start where we will show you how you can automate your quote to order workflow. So you can pretty much put the onus on Michelle by sending this email. She can either approve or decline. I'm just going to quickly show you how this template looks like rather than sending this email. Um, just bear with me for a few seconds. It's going to quickly show you. It's a standard Word document. And as I did mention, it can be configured based on your requirement. But just to give you a top level view on how this looks like, as you can see, that's the kind of, we can have your logo on top. You can see the breakdown of the categories, machine and beans, and any additional discounts she's got. And Michelle has the responsibility to either approve or decline. So if she's happy with this quote and if she hits approve over here, it will take you to a landing page again, which shows you the payment gateway. And if she's happy with the pricing, and she can pretty much go in, enter the PO number, hit approve. We capture the IP address, and we also capture the PO number we have set up. And this will flow back into the CRM, then gets pushed into Unleashed, and then the rest is history where your operations team deal with it as business as per usual. As you can see, thank you for approving the quote. And then let's go back to the CRM. We're not going to bother sending this email right now. And then if I quickly refresh the screen for you, it's saying waiting to be confirmed, which is quickly going to come up saying this quote has been confirmed and pushed into Unleashed as a draft sales order. Uh, the exercise that we showed is to show you how it would reflect on Michelle's end. As you can see here, that's a confirmed sales order. How does it look like when a customer accepts an quote? You can also obviously go and confirm the quote right here in the CRM. And if it's done on an email or phone, you can do that and it gets pushed into Unleashed as well. So that's pretty much on how do you service an existing customer nice and easy with some products and some recommendations from your end. And there are a few other tabs which we do want to show you, which is the delivery, any delivery methods you've set up in Unleashed, we pull through that information. And we also have integration to Stripe if you do want to treat this as a pro forma invoice. And if they're not part of your 30-day payment terms and get that payment up front, you can certainly do that and get that sorted for you straight away. So that's exactly how you service an existing customer, nice and easy. So if I quickly go back to your dashboard, you might ask me a question. Okay, you know what? Um, you've it's been great servicing existing customer, but how do we bring in more prospects or, like customers? What other features do we have? So that's exactly what we're going to be seeing now. So if you do have like once when you transfer from another CRM to us, and if you've got like heaps of prospects, and as long as you give them to us in the format that we're expecting you to send it to, we can do a data import for you of all your prospects, and you can save them right here. Or similarly, under create, you can create as many as companies and business contacts on the go. So there's no limitations, as I did mention. You can create as many as contacts as you like. And we have another way of capturing information, which is through your inquiry forms. So we have the ability to create inquiry forms and host it on your website. And any response that you get from your website will flow back into the CRM under marketing and inquiries. And then your sales team can be, pretty much qualify them and then add them as a prospect or a customer and then create an opportunity and work on them accordingly. And when I did mention about an opportunity, just want to quickly show you the workflow that we have. So you can pretty much choose a new customer and you can choose the statuses right from unqualified to won or lost. These can be configured based on your requirement. That's the kind of workflow we've got, and it's quite handy, especially to create an opportunity for a new prospect. So you can certainly track that and you know where exactly you're at. Um, and right now we're going to be seeing a bit more of how do we handle, say if you do get an inquiry from your prospect over here from your website, the best way to see it is through the personal settings over here. And we do have notifications where you can pretty much make them instant. So if you get an inquiry from your website, that gets instant. Any emails, bounce backs, and you can see all the other tasks. So pretty much you can assign a task, which I'm going to show you in the next segment. And then if there's a new order that comes through, as I did when Michelle confirmed the quote, so that's a new sales order coming in. You can also toggle on that notification, so you get a notification straight away. So these are the various way you can capture your new prospects, and that's the bell icon where that's your entire task list. So you know what exactly you have to do, and this will differ based on the kind of information that you've got coming through. Now, quickly just going back, to the other segment, and the other question we get asked a lot is, do we have a mobile app? Yes, we do have a responsive app, which, as long as you've got internet, you can access the CRM at any point in location, and you know where exactly they locate. I mean, you can use them. One of the main reasons why we don't have a dedicated mobile app is as I did mention, we do constant updates on a monthly basis. So with the responsive app, it puts the onus on us. As long as you've got internet, you do get the most updated version of the CRM. And quickly doing a problem before we close up today's session. Let's go back to Michelle again. Let's say, there has been an issue with one of the deliveries and you want to track that. And let's create a product. One of the bean bags has been damaged bean bags. And you can choose the type, like it could be a delivery issue or you can also have a product issue. So there's a different workflow right from, the statuses can be right from an RMA number, return received, credits processed. Again, all these workflows can be configured. Just wanted to show you that that's also a part of the CRM. Right now, let's just say it's a delivery issue, and and once you can hit create, it's going to take us to the actual workflow itself. And as you can see, you have to set a follow-up task. So let's pretty much go in and then, create a follow-up task. And you can assign this to any other operations member or warranty and claims member or delivery members. Just for the demo purpose, I'm going to assign this to myself and say, uh, collect a photo from Michelle and then leave a note for me. You can choose a specific time and date. The moment you hit save, that's going to reflect here on your activity feed, and it'll certainly come back to, as you can see, damaged beanbags. If you have set this task to another person, they will get an email notification straight away saying that there's a task that needs to be completed, and until they've actioned this task, it will be reflecting right here. So the only way of doing it is, so if you happen to go onto their store, rather than getting an email, you just go into the document section, as I did mention earlier, and you can certainly go in and then click a photo and upload a photo right here, and that gets saved under the activity feed. and you know the damaged goods on delivery, and then you can come back and say you can process a claim, and then you can say close successfully, and then you can hit clear task, and that all that reflects on the activity feed right here. So that's how you quickly handle a problem as well, and then resolve it as easily as possible. And as promised, I'm just going to show you two more reports. We've got heaps of reports right here under sales. So where we do have the one report I wanted to show you is the new opportunities report. So this gives you all the opportunities that you're dealing with, and you can pretty much go in and add filters, and you can add a filter via status and salesperson. And if you want to see which are the statuses, if you're on unqualified stage or quoting stage, you can certainly pull that. And also we've got here the Kanban view, um, which is pretty useful for especially if you do have your sales forecast meetings on if you want to see which is in quoting stage, awaiting PO or ordered. And similar to that, we also have a monthly projection as well, which gives you the information on which is falling in this month or next or so on. And we do have, these are one of the basic reports that we have in the CRM, and we have the ability to create as many as reports based on your requirement. And now, lastly, before I finish today's session, I would like to go in. Sales rep dashboard we do have a bit of a leaderboard where, based on your sales members' performance, we get that information reflected right here. You can also see the current pipeline you're working on. Sales managers is a bit more of a holistic approach, which gives you the top level view of all the information that's been processed, the total customers you're dealing with, the pipeline, the problems, the closed deals. It gives you a bit more of a comprehensive view of the product. And finally, which is the Magic Matrix dashboard. This is one thing I wanted to show you. As you can see, these are the various categories that you've got set up, and you can see home coffee equipment. 17 customers are aware and unaware, and 25 have bought them. If I open this matrix for you, this is an Harvard Business School idea, which we have implemented in the CRM. We put your customers on the x-axis and the products on the y-axis. And you can also filter them through, say, all the various types you've set up. And you can also choose the RFM segment like champion, loyal, potential, about to sleep, or at risk. And the whole idea over here is amber, meaning, they're aware of the display products, and blue meaning that they've got an opportunity under coffee carts. So as you can see, green obviously meaning they've bought, and red they're unaware. Let's go to Byron Bay Coffee. They've got the home coffee and ingredients and machines, but they've never got the sugar sticks. If you do want to run a targeted marketing campaign, you can create the build awareness over here. Let's only do the sugar sticks. You've chosen the segment. You've got 19 customers. Once when you hit next, you only want to run to the ones who are unaware. We're not going to go through the entire workflow, but once when you hit next, you can pretty much create a new campaign activity for sugar sticks, push them through, formulate your email, add your flyers. Once when you push that campaign through, what happens to this report over here is this turns into amber, which means they're aware of the product. And if they do come back through the response on the campaigns, and if they say they're interested, they would like to know more, you can then create an opportunity as I showed you in the plus symbol over here against Byron Bay Coffee, and send them a quote as we did with Michelle, which will turn this into blue. And if they do come back and say, you know what, we're happy with the pricing, we would like to go ahead. Once when they buy the product, this turns into green. So the whole idea is to understand and see as many as cross-selling opportunities, and in turn increase your average order value. That's a key little reporting logic we've got. And hopefully, I've tried to cover as much as we can. Of course, if we have to go through each of the features and functionality of the CRM, we would be here till tomorrow evening. But hope the information that I've captured was useful, and we would highly recommend you. I'll quickly jump on to the next steps. As you can see, I think we've got a couple of questions which we're going to go through next. Um, Before I do that, I just really want to give you the next piece of information. What are the next steps? As you can see. So pretty much from here, if you do want to know more features and functionality on how this could be a good fit for you, is to take a free trial. Um, and there are a few ways of doing it. You can either go to a website and take a free trial, and then add your Unleashed API ID and key. That's one way of doing it. But the most easiest way of doing it is right from your Unleashed portal, go to the integrations tab, store, and then choose Prospect, take a free trial. It's automated, and we will get in touch with you shortly once you've taken the trial. And as a thank you for your time and thank you for taking the effort of joining in this new year. Um, Happy New Year, by the way, to everyone. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that at the beginning. We would be giving you the first 3 months at half price, which is on us. Provided you take a free trial before the 17th of January and then subscribe by the end of the 14-day trial, we can honor you the first 3 months at 50% discount. So that's the kind of offer we want to provide. And it's a small little way of saying thank you for taking your time and joining today's session. And and that's about it. And we are right on schedule. We've got 5 minutes before we close, and we've come to the Q&A session. I've got one question over here. Let me quickly pull that. Okay, I've got a nice little question, which is we sell through distributors as well as direct, and is it possible to capture the relationship between our distributors and the ultimate customer? Yes, we can. So if your distributors have set up, so we can pretty much, if I go back to the CRM, so with any customers over here, you can pretty much, upload the distributors' performance as well into the CRM. We wouldn't be able to capture the distributors like sales transaction, but whatever products that you have sold with the distributor, that information does you can pretty much upload that manually in the CRM, and you can pretty much see the difference between the ultimate customer, and you can differentiate between a distributor as well. We do have that ability to track that information. But yeah, thank you for that question, and we can certainly track that for you. Hopefully, I was able to answer that. Please, yeah, if there's any other questions, this is the perfect time for us to go through that. All right, then. I believe that's pretty much all the questions at this stage. Yeah, there's one other question, which is what is the next steps from here? Yes, thank you. I mean, that's one thing I wanted to quickly mention that as well. Once when you take the free trial, and if you're happy with the whole process, next little stages, we will be doing a one-to-one session with you. As I did mention, it'll be myself or Peter, my colleague, who will be going through the process with you. If you do hit, that's a professional version. If you are getting the first 3 months at 50% discount, that'll be 301.50. And once when you go through, there's one other investment, which is the CSM plan, where you can choose the standard plan is 15% of the subscription value, but you'll pretty much have live support during office hours, telephone callbacks, and quick response to your queries and annual check-ins. But essential plan is pretty much free. You're going to be looking at a lot of self-help documents. And once when you go through next, you will be pushed on to the onboarding team where there will be a welcome call followed up by configuration and setup and few training sessions, and we'll ensure that you're fully onboarded and the CRM is implemented as per your requirement before you go. Yeah, that's pretty much the next step. And again, I think we're almost done. Thank you so very much for joining today's session once again. Hope it was useful and you were able to get some takeaways from today's session. Please do take the free trial, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side. Thank you once again for joining. Cheers. Bye.